Very warm. Good evening. Sorry for being a few minutes late. This is Ranawa Chaudhary. You're live on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. Another evening discussion about Indian football and the Euros. And yeah, let's talk about the latest in Indian football as well as the latest regarding the UEFA Euro 2024. Those of you who haven't seen, I've done an own sort of preview of the semi-finals today and tomorrow, as well as let's discuss what all is happening in Indian football and what's not happening in Indian football. Things don't seem to ever sort of stop with whatever one wants to talk about or not talk about. And therefore, once again, warm welcome to everyone. Just give me a sip of water. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a little bit hot here in Germany, 30 degrees for the first time, I think, this year, at least in our parts of Germany. And you've got tonight Spain versus France in Munich. And tomorrow night, you have England versus the Netherlands at the Euros in Dortmund. And Panama beat the USA, beat nation champion Qatar 4-0. How are they as a team compared to Canada? Orijit, I don't know if you saw my answer to your question, which you posed last night on the topics of the standards of the United States men's national team, as well as the standard of the Canadian national team. I think the US could compete with the top Asian sides or beat the top Asian sides. I don't think, and to me, Canada is not as good as the Americans. But again, the Americans have a situation like India or like England where you have a coach problem. And Greg Berhalter certainly is a problem for the Americans because, again, the Americans, like France, is a very, very talented team, and the US is not producing the results that they can. A home tournament to go out like this for both Mexico and the US, I think, wasn't good enough. But again, that's the reality of things are. Vaishnav, welcome back. Yeah, it's too hot here in Mannheim as well. Well, welcome to the one-day summer wonder. I guess tomorrow it's going to cool down again. So these are the realities. Yeah, those are the things. Again, comparing Copa to European Cup. Someone was talking to me the other day, a South American friend of mine, who was laughing at the fact that people are trying to compare Copa against the Euros. He says, listen, there are, and therefore maybe a topic, if other people want to talk about it later, maybe we can talk about it as well. Igor Stimac, welcome back. Hello, sir. News coming out that Anwar might leave Mohnbagan Supergiant. Yes, I've heard that as well. And that there's a lot of talk about it going on in Mohnbagan circles amongst Mohnbagan fans who are not clear about what is actually happening or why is this suddenly this talk coming up that Anwar could leave the Mariners, but there seems to be some sort of problem or fallout, or maybe he and his agent aren't happy with the salary that Anwar is on, because again, there are other players who've come in who've more look likely to have a higher salary, be it last season Anirudh Thapa and Sahal, and now of course certainly Apuya on a much higher salary. Maybe the salary is an issue, and to me also, again, he's on loan, which is on a very, very long-term loan, which honestly, I don't understand. Either you sign the player or you don't. But why would you sign a player on such a long-term deal? I wouldn't understand. Hi, Sanskar. Anwar in Mumbai City FC. What's your view if you join Mumbai City? Anwar, joining Mumbai City looks difficult to me, Sanskar, because if you remember, originally he was signed by Mumbai City FC on a long-term contract, and then nothing came about it because the player had a heart ailment, and then Mumbai City FC clearly, distanced itself from the contract and said, we will not sign him due to this heart ailment. And I still think it is still a potential issue, and that's the reason, so to me, I think that's something where I'd say, for me, I would, again, you never know. So for me, I would distance myself for any move for Anwar Ali, because again, the hard thing is to me still not sorted. It's there. Arijit, Afghanistan qualified in Futsal World Cup. Is India even trying to be competitive? Any South teams with futsal potential? It's easier to excel in futsal for India. Arijit, they tried, again, we've been late to the party again. So let's hope that India is going to be better. Afghanistan going, wow, huge respect to that. What team would you think would be a good fit if he indeed leaves? Vaishnav, I don't see, so to me is, I guess BFC and East Bengal would be the two teams who will be trying to sign the player. But to me, there are 2-3 issues which I see with Anwar. One thing is I felt he hasn't been fully fit. To me, there's something missing or lacking in his game. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. So therefore, let's wait and see what he does. Hello, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Ishan. I'm fine. Hope you're doing well as well. So waiting to hear your queries, questions, and points of view. Amal says, will he try abroad? Amal, he could, but again, I think we have that problem of the players and their agents expecting a level of clubs and salaries where nobody will give these players that option, to be very, very honest. And that's one of the big problems that is there with a lot of players. Sanskar, Apuya also reject Mohun Bagan, but then join Mohun Bagan. So Anwar deal can also happen. Apuya never declined Mohun Bagan. Where do you get this info from? Do you know that he declined Mohun Bagan this summer and then joined Mohun Bagan? He got an offer. Very good. Went. Tata bye bye. Done. Where is the thing about rejecting Mohun Bagan Super Giants? And for me, if I was at Mumbai City FC, if I know the history of the player with the heart ailment, actually, no, forget Mumbai City. If I was at any club, I wouldn't sign him. Because to me, there is still no clarity. I think that he's playing with an heart ailment and anything, so therefore, I wouldn't sign him, to be very honest. With all the talent that he has, I would always have that fear, could something happen, to be very, very honest. And I don't want to be living in that fear of someone, could something happen to him, because you are also the custodian and the guardian of the player if you're running a football team, a football club, or doing. Any news about Jigson? Ishan, at the moment, he is with the Blasters on pre-season training. There are clubs who are interested in Jigson, but he hasn't, to me is, let's wait and see. I think Ishan would be my point, Don't Indian clubs or local teams train with kettlebell, barbells, or jump ropes? Every young guy in a gym freak is a gym freak, but why teenagers Bengali don't excel like in Gulf or European countries? I wouldn't know, to be very honest, if that's the reason why we're not excelling. So for me, that is not a reason. Arijit, again, if they do, again, gym freak, not gym freak. I think Indian players spend too much of time in the gym and not enough time on the field. I think that is a problem, For me, if we want to be successful in the long run, we need to be more on the ball. We are too often in the gym. The physical side is good, but again, what have we been talking about for now, days, weeks, and months? Basics, which means, if basics mean stop a ball, play a pass, a short pass, a middle pass, a longer pass, square the ball, all these kind of basics, take a shot, all of these things need to do. Shreyam, hi, welcome back. Manvi Parent Academy owner says Mohun Bagan Superjan is playing in wing half. He can't perform a national team rather than playing striker, but though I agree on that, but he needs to be good enough to play. Shreyam, he's playing in the national team normally in the position he plays for the club. So that logic doesn't work. This is what people should be asking these people. Let's wait and see. Hi Kumar, welcome back. Good to see you. Bro, in 2021, Apuya rejected Mohammad Subhan and chose that time Mohammad offer him. Sanskar, do you know? You're saying that confidently, do you know? Simple question. Sure, many European clubs play in different positions and play in their country's club in different positions, especially lower ranked teams. Yeah, sure. If I see, Griezmann is not playing in the position that he plays for club. Mbappe sometimes doesn't. Colomani was playing on the wing. He's a central striker. So yeah, this is what happens again. But for this to know, again, Shem, you have more knowledge than these people who are talking about these things. That's the scary part. If you want, you can find 100 reasons why a player is not performing. Listen, I don't want a player to be performing to a great level. I just want to see some basics. I want to see a fighting spirit. I want to see passion. If he fails, I am fine with that because we don't have the quality. But I, at the moment, don't see the fighting spirit and the passion. That is my concern with the Indian national team. Right? Georgia, best example. Georgia was challenging some of the best teams in Europe, and they're nowhere near. But it was fighting spirit and the passion which took them to the level that they were fighting. They're flying way above their weight. XYZ, Spain or France today. See, I would like, from a football fan perspective, from someone who loves good football, I would want Spain to win. Very honest. But France have been that bogey team in this tournament so far where you say, they could pull it off. So therefore for me, I hope, as I said, I hope Spain win, but France have had a tournament, so therefore, I don't know. It's a difficult one to be able to judge and talk about. But if I see the teams left in the tournament, if you ask me that way, to me, I would say that again. I want Spain to win, but France have been very clinical, strong defense. That's gotten them through, and this has been Didier Deschamps for 10 years. And again, that's something, which is there. Ishan, what do you make of Baker's move to BFC? BFC seems to be strengthening the backline with Chingasana, Baker, Nickel, Roshan. Yeah, the Indian players are good. Now let's see what the foreigners they add. I think you could have the best, Indian players, but if your 5-6 foreigners aren't good, you're not going to make it. That's the reality of where we are. Shyam, who are favorite in CFL Derby and who are some of the players from both clubs getting promoted or getting good amount of game time who are already promoted? Shyam, I wouldn't know, to answer your last part, who's going to get promoted from any of these teams. I think, to me, the players have to prove themselves. There are certain ISL players who are now playing at this level. We've had in the last few years that Kian, Suhail, and all these guys playing for Mohun Bagan. This year we've got Shine and all those guys playing for East Bengal. So some of these here. But CFL Derby, I wouldn't know who would be the favorites because, again, it's a mixed bag of players who are ISL players, B team players, under 19 players. I think it's even 50-50. Dhrubajyoti, welcome back. Dada, call Hiren Dana. Your interaction with him was so insightful. Dhrubajyoti, I will certainly do that. I'll speak to Hiren. Ishan, Richard Hood recently put out a tweet explaining the football structure of Georgia with proper 3-tier system and youth leagues. Overnight success is usually a long process. Ishan, this is what I've been saying. As long as we don't rectify our grassroots and youth football, our coaching and our competitions, nothing will happen. We can talk every day for the next 100 years. Nothing will happen if these basics are not put right. Every country who's had success in some sort of form or way has tried to put the basics right. And we're not willing to put the basics right. We'll talk about everything. We talk about everything without putting the basics right. And that's the real challenge that Indian football, in my opinion, has. That if you put the basics in, if you put the basics right, we can be more successful at the top level. So that's the challenge. If we don't do the basics right, we will have the same conversation we're having today in 100 years and nothing would have changed. Right, 24 people watching, 15 minutes gone. Those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. As Akshata loves to say, please like the stream, share it also that more people can join in. And yeah, let's grow the community. Could we not have Indian football team on tour to Russia, play Lokomotiv Moscow main team or Russian team? Orijit, first of all, the idea of sending an Indian team to Russia is a little bit of a problem to me as someone living in Germany with all that is happening. So therefore, today is not a good day in that way to talk about it. So I would politically already directly say no, we should not have any sporting relationship with Russia. But again, the Indian government and a lot of people in India see it differently. And secondly, why would they play us? That's my simple question to you. Do you think Spain is lucky in Germany game? Morally, 100%. 100%. Germany were, if you look at the 120 minutes, Germany were the more active and the better team in that day. We don't need to talk about the penalty. Yes, we want to talk about the not given penalty, but also the chances they had. Havertz, Füllkrug, Musiala, Wirtz. Germany should have won it, period. Ishan, we agree that CR7 is letting Portugal down. Do you feel the same way about Pepe? Not fully, because I think Pepe performed to a certain level despite being 41 years of age. But again, you saw him to be a liability in the one or the other move in the last two games when it was about speed. I mean, he gave away that chance to Benjamin Sesko, but Sesko couldn't score. And in the one indication was outplayed by the French, but again on another few occasions he recovered. So I wouldn't. It's different than CR7. Cristiano Ronaldo is blocking the spot of quality players, and that's the reality. Ayush says, Arijit, we will lose badly to Russian teams. Yeah, very, very likely. RCB Run Machine, welcome back. If Mohun Bagan don't sign a fall midfield, then it will be a disastrous season. That is my concern. If Mohun Bagan, 2 defenders, 3 attacking players, they have to sign at least 1 defensive midfielder, 100%. Because this is, you saw the difference that Yoni Kauko made to the team last season. Without Yoni Kauko, Mohun Bagan would never have won anything. Those are the way we don't have a good playmaker, neither a clinical striker who guarantees at least 7-8 goals in the season. Dhruvajuti, 7-8 goals is enough. I would say 10 to 12. You know, Pereira Diaz has been signed, Noguera has been signed, so therefore let's wait and see if they can redo. You know, so to me, BFC look decent, but let's see when the final team is done and out. Vaishnav Manda seems to have lost weight this season. Was it only me, or he looked emancipated to you as well? I think you meet Manveer. Yeah, he looked fit. Certainly looked fit, but emancipated, I don't know if I would say that. But he looked leaner, he looked fitter, and yeah, some great runs in the ISL. Shreyam, I'm seeing African countries calling European scouts. Before that, they used to send players to Europe, and that might reduce their chances. It's done by info politicians and church associations. No, it has nothing to do with politicians and church. I mean, there are people, genuine people who've been trying to promote talent, you know. So to me, that is something that they've done. And again, European teams also set up shop. Ajax build a club in South Africa, Red Bull build a club in Ghana, other teams have done it, Feyenoord and others have done it as well in other parts. So yeah, let's see. Murali, Bundesliga, Premier League, La Liga, apart from these leagues, any league would in future, do you think, challenge? Certainly Serie A, Italy, Ligue 1 is very, very good. So yeah, these are the top, I would say. XYZ, Lamine on Koundé, Mbappe on Carvajal. Carvajal is suspended, so Carvajal is not playing. Rodri versus Kanté, Fabien versus Rabiot, Magnan versus Simon, Morata versus Saliba, Griezmann versus Cucurella. The matchups are fire. Let's wait and see. Right? I guess the one other player you're mentioning, again, as I said, Carvajal is suspended, but I think you know, and let's see who plays. Ishan, can you please clear this confusion whether teams promoted to ISL from I-League pay franchise fees or not? No, I-League champions don't pay the fee, but Roundglass last year said that Punjab FC will pay the fees to get money out of the central pool. Shrem, and they are not calling countries from England or Spain or France. Instead, they're going for Lithuania and Denmark, which are best league to get promoted, would say something in India if we call them. Yeah, if they would do it, yes, but we're not, right? Would you talk about the managers of the current ISL teams, especially the appointed ones, like your thoughts and your expectations for them? Dhruvajuti, I think it's a little early. Let the season start. Let's get into, So therefore, let's wait and see. Wait, does overseas Indians have different political views than Indians living there? Like the Russians, they seem to be the only white people who respect our culture and has been welcoming. It's better not for me to comment what you think, because you're so far away from reality. Interact with Russians and then you would know. Anyway, let's not get into that. In football, they say better team won the match, but by looking England, I think I need to change my thoughts. Murali, very often the better team doesn't win a match. You have often teams getting away with draws or winning who have not been the better team. It's about scoring goals. If you think the better team always wins, doesn't happen. Life isn't fair. Football is not fair. If there was a football god, certain countries would not be World Cup winners or whatever, India women team lose to Myanmar, surprising or meant to happen. Well, I'm not surprised, to be very often. And it's interesting that an IWL player actually scored both goals for Myanmar. Ishan, do you see Chetri getting game time this season? I would appreciate if the coach actually benches him and brings him on as a sub. Ishan, I don't know. Simon Grayson did that the season before and then brought him in for the key part of the season. So it's up to the coach. I don't know what is, let's see what happens. Ayush, BFC looks decent at start and then we start playing negative, boring football in league. Let's wait and see what happens. Again, Saragossa to me is not an attacking coach. So that would be see what happens. Sir, what could be done to improve the condition of football in India, whether it's men or women? Suraj, that's a very generic question, and let me have a sip before I answer this to you. To me, as I always say, it starts with grassroots, it starts with youth, it starts with better coaching, and it starts with better competition. That's the main thing that we need to change. And therefore, that's the key. And strengthen the leagues. The women IWL, yes, good start to be now home and away. But there are not enough teams to compete at the top levels. Hopefully, the weaker teams will get better to be able to compete with Gokulam, with Odisha, to some extent with Kickstart. So these are the challenges that you have. Even Lenormand is suspended. Yes, RCB Run Machine, very, very right. Do you think France is more firepower but still underutilized? Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at the attack line. You have Mbappé, you have Griezmann, you have Dembele, you have Kolo Muani, you have Marcus Thuram, Bacola. You have enough firepower. They've not scored. Think about this. France are in the semi-finals of the Euros, semi-final, and they've not scored one goal from open play. The only goal Mbappé scored is from a penalty. Even they have made collaboration with Thai Academy and Bayern, and one guy who called in Bayern will scored now. Sam is Bayern underage team. Why is it not happening here? Shreyam, because our quality is not good enough. That Thai player was a Thai youth international. So therefore, and they're taking players from around the world. So that's what are they doing? Sir, what led you to shift from political journalism, for example, your APJ Abdul Kalam, to sports administration journalism? Ishan, it was never. I always did sports, and I was asked at the time by Times Now also to do some stuff on political interviews and stuff. So that's why I did this, and I do it locally as well. But my main thing has always been football, or to some extent here in Germany, it's also sports. I not only do football, but other sports as well in the German context, be it handball, be it judo, be it basketball, be it hockey, be it roller hockey, running, athletics, whatever. So that's my thing. XYZ, this Real Madrid Academy is being set up and not what they tend to fail. I always knew all this European Academy setup has always been a fraud. XYZ, have you understood what the idea and concept of the Real Madrid Fundación is? It's not the Real Madrid Academy. And For me, it's the Real Madrid Foundation is coming to India, partnering with someone, and that is something of a pay-to-play model. Even the Barca Academy before that with Conscient Football was a pay-to-play model. It was not about creating talent for Real Madrid. It was training the Real Madrid way. Now, if someone talented came through, great. That was not the intention of the academy. If that has to be understood. If you think that these academies are coming, be it Real Madrid Foundation, the FCB Escola, the Arsenal Soccer School, Man United Soccer School, whatever others there are, this is all about their way of training and playing. Secondly, why is Hyderabad even playing ISL now? Like, seriously, they could have probably promoted Srini Deccan or Gokulam Kerala. Actually, that's not so easy because at the end of the day, Hyderabad has a franchise contract agreement with FSDL. And at the moment, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the status is. They're still there. They're still alive. But I don't know. Again, the investment hasn't happened. They've gotten another FIFA ban, which has been extended. That's the thing. Sanskar, bro, why, bro, Amisa going for so many Rahim Ali, Ishan Pandita uniform when you only playing with Liston, Manveer, Jason, Dimi, Sadiko, JMS backup or starting? They're backup. Whoever they're trying to get, they wanted Indian strikers backup. Sir, can new collaboration done with Bayern with an Indian academy without less PR? No, it won't, because the Indian academy would have to pay for it, and they will not. Right? That's the problem. We need better team on the day always wins. We need no, never. I'd say that in a lot of cases the better team doesn't win. Maybe that's the charm. Let's see. Goal scoring has been a problem in F4, which new coach needs to focus. Yeah, surely he has to. At least I don't get negative vibes from Russians. Yes, there are bad people everywhere, but news channels spreading negative news about India for decades is political news about India. I'm not going to get into that discussion XYZ because it's too political, and as someone born and brought up in this society, I have a different viewpoint on this, and there are certain realities that people need to accept, but people are not willing to accept that. So therefore, if you want to, if you think that's the case, let's see. When is East Bengal's qualifying match? Oh, good question. When is the ACL 2? Was it sometime in July, I thought? Or was it beginning of August? One second, let me just check. Let me just check before I give you something wrong as an info. 14th of August, East Bengal versus Altin Asir from Turkmenistan. Yeah, 14th of August. Right? So that's the date. Already down the line with all PA and OCI players like Hamza into consideration with South Asian to think doing well at the Asian Cup, doing a Canada or Vancouver. Already difficult always to say because it's about gelling up and about putting a team together. If you ask me, Bangladesh will have a very talented team down the road, and very talented, especially very talented midfield. Pakistan have the most, so Pakistan have good players at decent level, so they could be a threat. So therefore, these two would be my choices amongst those. But first of all, let them qualify for an Asian Cup, right? At the moment, for South Asian teams, except India, it looks very, very difficult. Ishan, sir, are there any precedents of countries and federations in ineffective people turning things around for the better in world football? Yeah, surely. I can't name you one at the moment, but there will be certainly some examples that has happened just because of the sheer talent on the football field. That's something which we can talk about how bad a federation is or how badly run a federation is. But sometimes it just works out that you have the talent on the football field, which makes so therefore for me, that is always a fact. Sony marketing Duran Cup gives vibes some historical tournament which is hot. That's how promo should be. Ayush, yes, but if you see the clubs are not, for me, that a lot of teams are saying, ISL teams at least are thinking of sending their reserve side for the tournament. So again, the promotion is going to be great, but the best players will not be playing the Durand Cup this year, which was the case also in the last few years as well. And I think some ISL teams are talking already to the federation and saying, listen, not to make the Durand Cup in the future with the bigger ISL as the official tournament. I think some want to skip it. Bro, what happened? Bundesliga and collab with any club or academy? No, there is no collab in place. Mona, 2019 Asian Cup, we played better. Even we lost to Bahrain, the goal scoring is better. Our latest Asian Cup results even more bothering than it's not scoring goals. Yeah, Murali, we were not good. You know, that's the reality. Bro, Mumbai City FC playing with junior Indian squad or foreigner also? None that I would know of. Were you surprised the talent like Christopher Nkunku could never cement his spot in the French team? XYZ, he's been injured, right? So if he's fit, he could be a candidate, but the French most probably could put 3 national teams together and all of the 3 national teams would be in the semi-finals of the Euros. They have that much of talent. So these academies are here to make profit, even though they are multi-billion-dollar entities. XYZ, these are not academies. They are separate entities than the clubs. So therefore, yes, these entities are there to make profit, simply said. Be it a Man United soccer school, an Arsenal soccer school, FCB, Escola from Barca, Real Madrid Fundación, PSG have such a program, Bayern have had such a program, other Premier League clubs, La Liga clubs have had it. So yeah, that's what it is. Mona, how do you see sports management in Germany apart from football? I think they're managed well in India. Sports management, we far away from world. Even one good player emergency, they will be destroyed. I think overall the German management is quite good. Look at the number of medals Germany is winning at the Olympics. Not enough, I would say, but it's okay. Dark Knight, welcome back. Hyderabad alive, but in critical condition. Yes. Sanskar, bro, but Rahim Ishan choosing Mohun Bagan when Mohun Bagan Superjan had so many forward in competition. Sanskar, it's not about the competition. At the end of the day, it's also about the money. There's no logic, so therefore, yeah, it's their decision. It's their decision in regard to the future, and if they think it's the right decision, which I don't think is the right decision, or maybe you might think it's not the right decision, but they think it's the right decision, then they're going to take that decision. Has FIFA banned any nation past in Europe? Because when FIFA banned India, people talk about what about Europe? Yeah, they banned countries in Europe, but don't ask me who. I wouldn't remember at this stage. Do you think AFF should make it mandatory to scout talents from Calcutta Premier League or other state leagues and put stringent caps on foreign players in these events? Also, shouldn't big teams, second team? Orijit, there are no foreigners playing in state leagues. So the AFF has banned foreigners from playing in the state leagues. And there are people scouting these leagues. If there's good talent, again, you have to understand the jump from the CFL or any other state league to the ISL is huge. It is not so easy. Mona, when ISL participate AFC Championship, they get thrashed is because of technical skills or inferior complex. If we're not good enough, there is no inferiority complex. We are just not good enough. So for me, I don't know. Will East Bengal focus on Durand or ACL? Sanskar, I wouldn't know, to be very honest, because they're already playing CFL with their B team. I think their focus will be ISL and ACL more the ACL too, more than the Durand, if you ask me, but I might be wrong. Euro 2004 Greece win is the greatest example. Better team doesn't always win. Suhas, very good example. Yeah, brilliant example. Russia being India geopolitical ally is different than Russians being positive with India. There is a reason why India moved to Anglosphere, not Russia. Ayush, very well said. RCB run machine. I saw many Ego Too Much podcasts. I know that AF is corrupted and it's their fault, but he comes to the same point and that he didn't get enough training for season contract issues. See that the AFF has problems. I think we can all agree to that. to that point that the AFF has problems, has issues, and that and to me is the challenge. But has he said anything new? So for me, if I know these are the problems, I work around it. So therefore, for me, he hasn't worked around it. So that's the challenge, no? So therefore, let's wait and see what happens, right? So therefore, let's wait and see what is, what happens. Let's see where we go, right? So therefore, for me, it's not a simple conversation which we should have about what's happening, right? Is it true Guam beat India and drew with Iran? Yes, Orijit, they did. I also saw Ranjibal shielding University much more than how parents protect their children when they make a mistake, like communists just giving excuse for loss against Afghanistan. Yeah. So therefore, Russia's better ally, at least don't run from enemy in war situation. Yeah. When federation is not functioning properly, still players playing better football. Example, Syria, surprising. Well, there are multiple examples. Palestine, there are a lot of war countries in Africa who play better. Or is it 250 coaches applied, but when one would person be found as Gary Kirsten could not help Pakistan, right? On the Gary Kirsten thing, I don't know. Again, cricket, don't ask me questions. I have no clue. And 291 coaches have applied, and I guess as the president said, by the end of the month, we should have a result. Would an average Indian teenager or kid spend money, which I believe would be expensive to play, rather than will play on local grounds? XYZ, it's up to you. If it's up to the kid, it's up to the parents. And again, these pay-to-play models are not there to create talent. It's more of a, community. It's grassroots, I would say. Arijit, India beat Cameroon in football, same year lost Kuwait 9-1, where these matches fixed. Arijit, it wasn't the same year. India lost to Kuwait 9-1 in 2010 in the AFC, in the run-up to the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. It was a test match. Bob made a lot of changes. India lost terribly. And India beat Cameroon in the final, Cameroon B in the final of the Nehru Cup 2 years later. What do you think is right for an Indian player playing abroad to return to India, assuming he's relatively well off? An Indian player going abroad is the first thing, right? How does he get abroad? Where does he play? You can't, Ishan. In India, very often people generalize. Football is not generic. It's each individual case is an individual case, and then you have to try and find a solution for that individual case. You can't generalize these things. Someone, it might be 19. Someone you might say, listen, come back at 22 or 25 or 30. I to be honest, I don't think with good football coaches in schools, we can achieve anything as players need to get into academies at age 8 to 10. It's not possible without school involvement to this early. Ayush, very well said. Totally agree with you on this point. 5 things foreign coach do better than that improve Indian player compared to Indian coach. Please tell. Dark Knight, it's very generic. The problem is, I don't want to generalize. Again, it's about teaching the kids the basics. Can you show the kids the basics? Do the Indian players themselves know the basics? We realize that certain players in the national teams don't get the, in the national team, and they don't have the basics. So that's one of the things. Tactical awareness. Also players have more respect towards foreigners. That's something which is a problem, but it's a reality. Machine, do you think Apuya's statement on Mumbai and Northeast about ban made sense to you, especially after what they did for him just to protect the word money? Is he going for the number of fans? I don't see. It wasn't a wise statement from Apuya, but he said it, and you have to live with it. If you are as a Mumbai City fan or a Northeast United fan don't like it, but that's a fact. Live with it. Tushar, franchises get fees for playing in ISL, then how is it going to work when relegation starts? Do the fans still get paid in I-League? No, they don't. I think Army, Navy or ISL team becoming Touran Cup winners will be better. Do winners get to play in Asia? No, they don't. Asia, yeah. Has politicians occupied UEFA, FIFA chairs like India? Yes, Murali, they have. Why Anwar Ali want to leave Mohun Bagan? LM7, if I would know that, I would be a very wise man. It seems to be some sort of problem. It may be that he fears he might not get enough game time at Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Maybe it's about money. I think it's about money, that he wants more money from Mohun Bagan, because his criticism, so therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Sanskar, but bro, Mohun Bagan destroying Indian players. Why you need backup star players, Ishan Rahim, when you had already found quality player? Go I-League, Kolkata market gives chance, maybe start from one match. Sanskar, don't come with logic. You're coming with a logic. A player, simple. Let's take an example. If you are playing ISL and you're getting 100 rupees. You go to a smaller team, you get 50 rupees. You play I-League, you get 20 rupees. You play Kolkata League, you get 5 rupees. Will you play for 5 rupees, or will you go for the 100 rupees and sit on the bench? That's the problem with a lot of our players. Only Qatar hosting World Cup, creating a lot of criticism because of politics or any other issue. It is about human rights and about culture and what you do. That was some of the issues. When you say basics, I'm not going to think Brandon basics and technique good. I feel it's better than the others, but it's not the best, right? Even Manolo also gave excuse in the second half, injury, but not accept his fault. Sanskar, it's a problem. That's a problem that is there in Indian football. Therefore, we need to talk about some of these issues, some of these things that are there. And that's something where I say we need to, be clear of where we're going with Indian football, or where Indian football should be going. That's something which I always say. Sorry. Those of you who haven't liked, please do like this video. As Aksharta always loves to say, share this video and subscribe to arunfoot if you haven't. Let's grow the community. 1,222 is the current number. Let's move it to a higher number and get it going. And I realize I had not put this in. Yeah, anyway. Why did India drop bid for 2027 Asian Cup? Ayush, I am still not 100% clear why. It was said because the government support. For me there were reasons given by the AFF at the time, so for me it was and I think the AFC would have supported a bid from India to host the Asian Cup, but again we decided to pull out. I think this is another question that actually needs to be asked to Kalyan Chaubey and Shaji Prabhakaran. Why did you guys pull out? Ishat, I feel finishing skill is not there. Murali, I think finishing skill is there. I think that some of his other basics are lacking. This guy has this knack. He has this intuition of how to score goals. He showed it at FC Goa. So therefore, he has that. Sir, you meeting US Temaj was same as Duvrati meeting Narendra Modi. I say, Ramesh, I don't have a problem with Igor. I've even, sat with him, drank with him, had dinner with him, so therefore, I don't have a problem with him. It's just that, we can talk about anything, everything. I'm just not happy with his performance as Indian national team coach. Simple as that. I can sit with anyone and everyone, but I want the best result for the Indian national football team. I want the best result for Indian football, which I see a lot of people don't. That's why I put out a tweet this afternoon that people are their personal interest. They put themselves more as an important thing than Indian football. And there is no person, entity in the world which should be bigger than Indian football. That is something where we need to get to. Ayush, no money to compete against Saudi. Rohit, it wasn't about the money. Again, that's the thing. That the bidding was not about money. Manvir and Rahul K, what the major difference? Manvir is more of a runner. Rahul K is more of a technical player. That would be, I would say, is the difference between these two. Is there any other Indian in Germany covering Indian football like you, XYZ at the moment? No, I used to do it with a friend of mine, Chris Ponakato Daniel and Daniel Punatu. Those guys used to run with me indianfootball.com in the early, in the late 1990s and the early 2000s. So therefore, that's something, which is there. I'm talking about players' views. I'm talking about clubs' views that they can easily get big and low price from I-League and Kolkata market. The scout well, they can scout kidhar karna hai. Sanskar, if you scout in the I-League and in the CFL, you will not get the quality. And this is another thing. For me, the problem is we have a limited talent pool. That's why you're shuffling the talent pool around, because so much money is suddenly in the market, right? Everyone throwing money at players, right? So therefore, we have a limited pool. And that is something, if you take an I-League player, if you take a player from CFL or the other state leagues, they're not good enough. This is what you need to realize, that all the discussion, suddenly I-League players are playing national team. It's disaster. Hey, now, hey, Shaggy, good day. Good day also, Shaggy. Hope you're doing fine. Everything good, my friend. How long will we be seeing this tussle in AFF? Is Satya, will be still the acting GS or permanent GS? If I would know when this ends, and again, it's getting to an embarrassing level, I feel, that we could, we could talk about things and try and improve things. But this is about, I tried and do this, I did that, and this. And then you say, oh, this was never done in the history of the AFF. And it's like, guys, you guys have taken the AFF to a low which we've never seen. My request to these people would be, please leave Indian football. Let new people come in and rebuild. Satya is certainly trying, but my feeling, I might be wrong. I hope Satya proves me wrong, that this might be a too big a job for him at the moment, if he doesn't have the backing. Karnataka had the backing of everybody. Here, you have to fight people. Running the AFF is amongst the toughest jobs in the world of sports, not even football, in the world of sports. That is the difficult task for anyone trying to run this federation. Moral player selection has been a problem in Indian football, especially in China, Asia Cup. What about football? Is anything happening, coach and federation? Wouldn't be able to, let's see. Sanjay says, my GOAT Indian national team, Thangaraj, Sudhir, Saran Mana, Arun Ghosh, Alok, Yusuf, Prashant Sinha, PK, Chuni, Balram, Inder Singh. Sanjay, the problem for me is to put in an Indian football GOAT men's national team would be that I would have to have been able to see players. The players that you're mentioning, I have seen none of them play. Right? And I say watch them play is not watch them on television, but watch them live. Then you can make a comparison. I cannot compare them because I have seen I am Vijayan, I have seen Baichung, I have seen Sunil and all the others that have played in the last 25, 26 years. So therefore, great team that you've put together, but I would not be able to compare this team to what if I would put a team together. Darknet slave agreement, kafala system, yes, those were amongst the biggest issues in regard to Qatar and criticism from the West. Prasanjit, hi, welcome back. Should I hope from under 20 considering the draw we get one mark after SAF? Prasanjit, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because let's see how we do in SAF. How prepared is this team in SAF? And then we'll see. Arijit, how do you rate Saudi Arabia League standard compared to Europe? Arijit, two things. I think the standard of the Saudi Pro League is most probably higher than most people think, and most people expect it to be. You see a lot of Saudi Pro League players playing at the Euros. Even tonight, there will be players, N'Golo Kante, and Spanish defender for his name at the moment, Laporte. We've had Cristiano Ronaldo, other players playing in a lot of teams. So I think the standard is better, but overall, I think the Saudi Pro League, the top teams are good, but overall, the standard would not be comparable to the Europeans. Ayush 2031 will be for East Asia, that most probably will go to China. 31 will be our chance to host. Let's see. I think Southeast Asia wants to host the 2031 Asian Cup. President, remove Sadiko Dimi from Mohun Bagan and South Clayton from East Bengal. Both teams will lose to Aizawl. I'm not even saying whenever. I don't think so. They're not that bad. And I think Aizawl is not, Aizawl standard is not that high. Neil D'Souza, hi Neil. Do you agree with Sunil? If Messi played in India for 3 years, his quality as a player would have been reduced. 100%. 100% agree. I mean, that was a great interview with that. I forgot his name. Please correct me. To see, and we. We've seen, right? Sunil went to Kansas, level moved up, went to Sporting Lisbon, went up when he came back to India. Baichung, Buri, made him a much, much better player. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, much, much better player by being in Starbucks. So, yeah, the standard higher or lower will influence how good or how bad a player plays. Which ISL players score bang a goal when participating in international football? They perform badly because quality is too good. Yeah, but again, I think we have to also talk, again, as I said, it's a problem with the coach. Kishore, Indian strikers are blind on one eye, can't score 1-1 situation, one way listen. Any high profile coach, they will not change. Again, that's the point, Kishore, which I don't know. Because our coach in the last few matches seemed to have made the players worse than what they were playing in ISL. Satska, bro, but for first season he can bat from I-League market player, but slowly can develop from coach. That's like Vikram. They can save your money. Sanskar, Vikram was the captain of the Indian junior team. He was not an unknown entity. Mumbai City have been bringing in players which are known entities, somewhat where you expect them to go to the next level. Mohun Bagan is not in a situation to say, listen, I will wait a year or two for a player to develop. That will have to happen in another ISL team and they will buy that player. That is what you need to understand. Ayush, any chance of FIFA changing host selection rule of one continent not hosting another World Cup for 2 terms after it has, as only North American Oceania available? Is there any hope for us? I don't see that happening. I mean, 2034 is happening in Saudi. So I think 2048, 2052, if we are bidding, we could be hosts of a World Cup. What state league in Germany do which India does or doesn't, you mean? We don't have state leagues. It's a pyramid structure. Somewhere it's state leagues, somewhere it's regional leagues. Deepak, it's that's the strength. There's a pyramid. Shoka sir, why is everyone talking to Tajikistan, Thailand, U20 so lightly? Everyone is saying we will get out of the group very easily. I believe Thailand's far better than us. Shoka, at 20s, under 20s, I don't believe have a chance at the moment. Let me see what they do in the south, and then that is what I see. Mitrovic also played, right? Yeah, Mitrovic was another player who played from the Saudi Pro League at the Euros. One ISL defender impressed you most? If you ask last season, it would be Rahul Beke. I thought Rahul Beke was very, very impressive as a centre back, who's actually originally been a right back, but Rahul Beke would be one. Raj Shamani. Yes, sorry guys. Yes, Ishan. Yes, Deepak. Raj Shamani was the guy. If you haven't watched that interview, I thought it was a very, very honest interview from Sunil. Very insightful interview from Sunil. Which was more insightful than I think he would give to a football YouTuber, I guess, because it was more personal. It was a sitting with someone you realize who didn't or doesn't understand football that much, or was more coming from a rather unknown entity. So therefore, I thought it was a very, very good interview. Top 3 Indian coaches in your opinion? To me, the best of the young lot is Randy Singh would be top one. I rate Clifford Miranda highly. And Merajuddin Wadu. It's Wadu, it's Ishfaq. You could throw Samir Naik in the mix, so there are few of them. Today's match, we missed so many chances. We should have scored 3-4 goals. Maybe we didn't have much possession, but they converted the chances they got. Prasanjit, that's the thing, right? I mean, that's football. Do you think is in the leading race to become the coach? Showcast, I don't know, because from my understanding is they've not even reviewed it in the AFF. They just collected it. Now they're trying to, see if they qualify as per the standards, and then they will present it to certain people. That's the thing. Gopri, when he returned, played World Cup qualifier against Iran, and we lost 2-0 that night. Very good. He was playing in Norway. Very, very right. Now, do you think after ISL, Indian football quality has reduced, or other teams are much better? I think it's a combination to some extent of both. I think a lot of teams around us have improved in Asia, around the world. Also, think that the ISL needs to do a lot of more work in regard to grassroots and youth football to get better quality. And that's something, again, we're talking about the last 10 years. I think the ISL started 10 years ago. So therefore, that blame needs to go to the I-League and to the academies, that they have not done the proper work on the grassroots. Moran, Qatar not playing World Cup is surprising. Or winning Asia Cup, they have beaten Korea surprisingly. Again, winning the Asian Cup or being top in the Asian Cup doesn't mean you're going to qualify for a World Cup. Sanskar, bro, I-League standard is not as much bad if you just need backup. For backup, I-League is good standard. No, it's not. It's not. That's what I'm telling you. That is the reality that people need to understand. Have anyone watched FIFA Netflix series FIFA Uncovered? I have. Surprisingly, Mehta plays well as right back. Kratky Magic? No, RCB run machine. Because you forget that originally Mehta was a right back. He was never a centre back. It's the same thing as with Rahul Beke. These guys are natural right backs, and they then played as centre backs. Manak, you're mixed with the last boys of the class for a prolonged duration. You will end up deteriorating your standard study. Yeah, Manak, very well said in regard to Messi not having the standard that he's had in the past. What happened to Derek Pereira? RC Run Machine, he's with FC Goa and looking after their youth system. How do you rate Rendy and Thapa? Rendy to me is the most talented. I mean, I'm not saying this because he's one of my best friends, but Renedy Singh is one of the most talented guys that I've seen as a player and even as a coach. I think he should have done more as an Indian international in the past. But yeah, that's him. And he knows that. I've told him on his face. So Renedy knows that. No Khalid in top 3? No, Khalid does not make it into my top 3. He doesn't even make it into my top 5, to be very honest. Can India under 17 qualify for expanded FIFA U17 World Cup? Dark Knight, if I would know that, I don't know. Let us first qualify for the Asian Cup and then we'll see how far we can get. Sanskar, bro, FC Goa was OFC. Choose both teams go chokers and underrated because MSC come back after 90 minutes. You never know. Is ISL broadcaster changing this season? Ayush, no, it will be with Sports 18. Shokat, how does RFDL have a contract with the AFF? Can any other private organization who will develop can take the contract, or is it permanent? The ISL decision have major say RFDL. See, RFDL, it's FSDL, which is a company of Reliance. So they have a marketing contract, which runs out next December with the AFF. The ISL is a product that they created, and and to me, that is the decision which needs to happen. But anyone can take the contract. But who's going to give the AFF the money? I mean, that's the question, right? They get money from FSDL, and who would put in money without any questions asked? That's the challenge, I think, that there is in Indian football. RS Punjab FC के owners के बारे में कुछ बताइए, उनके future plans क्या है? They don't even play in Punjab. I would not be able to tell you what the plans are from Round Glass regarding Punjab FC. Again, I think and for me, they are forced to play in Delhi. Let's see what happens this season, and then let's wait and see what happens. I don't know. They wanted to focus on youth, on grassroots, on academy. That was the original plan. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. Prasanjit, my friends make mockery of me for watching Indian football. They say watch European football, but I give one answer. It's simple. I watch my own team in FIFA, and for that, I will support India from grassroots. Prasanjit, very well said. I think, for example, I've watched matches live of the Euro. To be very honest, I've not been impressed. I think from an atmosphere perspective, I would say Switzerland, Scotland. I watched Spain, Italy. I wasn't impressed. And France versus Belgium was pathetic. So therefore, not always European football, that's the thing. Despak is leading race to become Wales coach. Is it true? Showcast, I have not heard about it. Is Renly passionate about developing Indian football? Showcast, he's been doing it. No? He built his own academy. Classic Football Academy is built by Renedy himself. He's built an academy from nowhere, from nothing, and that has now twice won the under-17 youth league. So yes, very passionate. I hate eating Argentina flag sweets. I want my own team as a simple. Very good. Do you think Iran can challenge the European nation? Iran has done that in the past, right, Morali? It might not have won, but they challenge and their top players play in Europe. Ishan said, what is the rationale of FIFA for promoting U17 World Cup and changing the frequency of U23 tournaments? There are not U23 tournaments. FIFA doesn't have U23 tournaments. I think at under 17 level, to make it a 48 team competition, men's and women's, and to have it every year gives every age group a chance to showcase themselves on a global scale. I think the competitiveness will grow at youth level around the world. That's a good sign what FIFA has taken. I think a very, very good step. लेकिन आई लीग का स्टैंडर्ड खराब है तो आई लीग का टीम आईएसएल टीम्स को नहीं हराती एक्स पंजाब फिनिश अपर देन बीएफसी ईस्ट बंगाल एफसी साले गेट ऑफर फ्रॉम बीएफसी तो खराब प्लेयर्स को आईएसएल टीम्स क्यों ले रहा है पंजाब if you look at Punjab or look at ground class Punjab and look at Punjab FC, the squads, I League and ISL, mainly two different teams. And there are players in the I League who are good enough to play ISL, but how many I League players each year make it in the ISL? And again, players are taken. Why I'm saying this, we have a limited pool. That's why we're talking about the same players. That's why teams are playing. Showcased, why was the hoax created then that Indian football was destroyed by FSDL, but in reality it's all AFF officials? It's not only AFF officials. I think even FSDL has done things which are wrong. Every stakeholder has done mistakes. That's the reality that we need to talk about, right? Sir, are clubs like Namdari more likely to get loyal fan following for their religious sect, school of thought club? Ishan, I don't know. I really don't know if that would be the reason. Might the sect say you have to attend matches? I don't know if that would work, how it would work. Bro, you give answer was better. FC Goa or OC, you never give answer. I would say Goa. Did Renedy send application for head coach? Showcase, I don't think so. I said earlier that most of the Indian strikers can't score one-on-one situation. What do you think? They got nervous or don't have that coolness to finish? You can't generalize, Kishore, I would say. Sometimes you will miss the coolness. Sometimes you will lack the quality. Sometimes there might be other reasons why you don't score. There might be a good defender, good goalkeeper. Yeah, let's see. Indian company show reality investing in Arsenal and Liverpool. Does this benefit Indian football? It's just business investment. To me, it's just a business investment. Other companies have done that as well. So they are sponsors. Prashad, what are your thoughts on Claude Leroy and Park for Indian national team coach? Kotuka has worked in Africa for last decade. See, these are all good coaches. Are they the right coaches? I wouldn't know. I don't know them well enough. I know a little bit more than you guys most probably on certain things, but on these two, I don't know if they're the right fit. So at least we can expect us to win against Laos and Mongolia and U20. I'm not even counting Iran match. We can still make it to FC. Yeah, let's wait and see. I don't know which we are. Let's see. The way ISL is promoting one club every year without relegation, do you think these teams will be able to survive once relegation starts? Monak, that's a good question. But that question, if you look at, for example, the Premier League, the promoted go down again, right? So therefore, it's a problem around the world for promoted teams. Tushar, you always say there are not enough quality players, but how is it not letting these players play any good? I mean, they have what we have, so start promoting more teams. Standard will improve over time. Tushar, we have done that, and it has reduced the quality. We have a lack of quality. We have too many teams in the top two tiers. This is counterproductive. Rather have less teams. Let's say let's have 10 teams in the ISL and have as many, but have the good quality Indian players in there. We don't have the quality for 13, 14 teams in the ISL. We don't have the quality for 13, 14 teams in the I League. That's the reality. संस्कार इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ मोहन बगान सुपर जायंट जैसे क्लब को स्काउटिंग अच्छा करना चाहिए क्या बात करे अच्छा प्लेयर मिला जाए लेकिन नहीं करेंगे तो वैसे भी नहीं मिलेगा ट्राई करने को क्या जाता है लेकिन ट्राई नहीं करते. They could do it, and I'm sure they have people who are looking at it. But they have a way of doing it. So again, who am I to tell Mohan Bagan how to do it and what to do? Ishant sir, one more observation I've made is even Indian players going abroad for training limited time like Ashik, Aniket Yadav, Shumar Sharma seem to have dried up. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's not, no one in the rest of the world does charity. Why would they do charity first? Simple question. These are the realities we need to talk about, right? No one is waiting for waiting for India and Indian football. No one is. And I realized in the last 2 days I'm talking to people. Abhishek, if you get a chance interview both Kalyan and Nigam, what would you ask? I would ask a lot of questions, but again, I know they will not give me an interview, so I don't, bother about it. Iceland's done better with limited resource compared to India. Yeah, that's a fact, morally. Really, Anwar leaving Monbagan Supergiant. And I don't know if he's leaving. Let's see if it's a saga of trying to enhance the contract, get more money out of the club. Because I think BFC and East Bengal are waiting on the wings to try and put ridiculous bids in. And then we come back to the point of talent pool if we had, so for me, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Good point, I agree. Good players need good players to compete with. It's about quality, not quantity. And that's the point here. That's my point. That we are talking about quantity, not quality. And we have a lack of quality, but we have quantity now. Look at the past, 15, 20 years ago, the Tata Football Academy used to bring out a batch every 2 years, 20 to 25 players. All of them used to play in the top tier. And Tatas would represent, ex-PFA players used to present 60, 70, sometimes 90% of the team. So therefore, quality, you can improve the quality via quantity. That would be an approach. But in an Indian context, it's not working. Futsal League teams' gameplay surprisingly good to me now. We just need good scouting, which never happens. Prasenjit, give futsal some time. We've got a lot of good small-sided game players. Let's see if they can improve. The basis of players is bad because of poor youth management or coach. It's a combination. It's not one thing which is a problem, multiple issues. What's your prediction on Spain versus France? I said a little earlier, to me, I would love Spain to win because I want Spain to win with better quality football. I think France, I saw them last Monday in Düsseldorf versus Belgium. Terrible match to watch, to be very, very honest. I didn't like whatever I saw. So therefore, for me, I would hope that the Spanish, with the way that the Spanish are playing, that they can get to the next round and can improve. Ishan, we should much rather have 11 clubs playing each other thrice over the long term. Maybe Ishan, that's the solution. So for me, we need to find creative solutions, getting enough game times to our players, and let's see. Sanskar, is it game time issue because Molina playing 3 centre back, 2 foreign centre back, and both is replacing Anwar? That's why angry on coach. Is it good news that players choosing game time over money? Sanskar, I don't think it's about game time. It's about money. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be about money. France will gammy a win, I guess. Neil, I'm fearing that France somehow 90 minutes, 120 minutes, own goal, penalty shootout, whatever, they will try to find it. What do you think went wrong with Harry Kane? He has had a stellar club season with Bayern Munich. Ishan, I think he's injured. I think he's not fit. Simple as that. Ayan, what reason for Korea handball didn't give penalty to Germany? I would like to know that as well, Ayan. The referee still hasn't spoken. I think he will never speak. And but let's see what happens. That was the biggest blunder of this Euro. Sanskar, Mohan Basupuja and Mumbai City spent almost same, but why always Mumbai get same problem, but why always successful? First, Sanskar, Mumbai City is not spending as much as Mohun Bagan. That's the first thing I need to correct you with. And Mohun Bagan has won the league last year. Where are they having problems? The two best clubs in India at the moment, So that's something. Dipan answers Sanskar. No, it's not true. There is a middleman behind all this Anwar saga. And you know who it is, guys. Where's the line between quality and quantity? Good players need to compete with good players so they don't degrade, but players need to play with good players to improve. Yes, very right, Tushar. And the question is, the best of the best in an Indian context need to, need to play with the best, and the weaker players need to improve first of all via training, and then be better to be able to compete. And we are pushing in more and more teams, and we are diluting that standard. And our standard is getting less, and we're becoming more and more dependent on the foreigners to bail us out. That's the biggest problem I see at the moment. That the foreigners are the starting and the ending of whatever we're doing in the games. Oops, sorry. What did I do? Kishore, I support Indian football since 2001 was leaving cricket aside, but nowadays I feel so much of pain seeing India lose lost to Afghanistan. Kishore, I feel you. I feel you in my heart. But to me, supporting a national team, supporting a country in football, normally I would say, losses make you stronger. But sometimes I feel, why are we all doing this and trying to support Indian football? Sometimes I think about, why. But at least I, for myself, said I'll try and do whatever I can in the background. And the one other thing, what I've done, I will try and do is support Indian football as much as I can. And therefore, it needs people like you are willing at this time of night to listen to what I'm saying, or to discuss with me what is right or what's wrong for Indian football. And we need to grow the community. We need to grow the community, more people. Spain possession football never seen in this Euro. Moral, I think they've changed, right? It's not one-dimensional. They play whatever they think is right. Prasanjit, this time 6 Kolkata derby in ISL, 2 more East Bengal qualify for ISL 2. Hope for viewership increase and more new fans join. How do you see 6 ISL derbies, Prasanjit? Could you explain to me that? And ACL 2, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are not going to be in the same group. Again, 2 teams from the same country will not be in the same group. And yeah, I think Kane is playing too deep and doesn't have pacey direct winger like Son. Also, Kane is slowing down. Neil, that is one problem. And Kane sometimes was even in defense. Against Switzerland, he was in the last line of defense. So he's all over the place. I think the ISL has made football attractive career, and that's all. And no team has taken advantage of the situation to become a good club over only promoted team like VFC. Not sure about others. Abhishek, it's a general problem. They're spending too much money. They've not capitalized on it. Yeah. In the Apuya case, was this also middle or third party, or his agent who deal done with or his choose? Please explain. Sanskar, I don't fully know if it was on Apuya or if it was his agent, but yeah, I don't know. Therefore, I'm not going to speculate. Tata Football kind of lost interest in football, at least focus on development. Dark Knight, I think what happened, the best talent in the past used to go to TFA. TFA was like, at youth level, the Indian Arrows. The best Indian talent went to TFA and then got the finishing touches and then went to the next stage. This doesn't happen anymore. They have talented players, but yeah, they go all over the place. That's the problem. We have diluted the system and we've not created a proper funnel to get the best players. Is a year-long youth league running parallel to ISL sustainable in the Indian context? Ishan, the ISL is not sustainable. So youth league is even less sustainable. In the past, we used to win some easily. Right now, we are struggling. Downfall has begun for us. I hope not, but yeah. Sanskar, but Mohan Super Giant does not dominate, just like Monmouth City dominate when you at gameplay. There, some the lucky one will win against small teams or penalty shootout luck, just like last season against Hyderabad BFC. Sanskar, their styles are different, na? Look at France, England, how far they've come at the Euros. Their style is different. Mumbai City has a certain style, a certain way of playing. One of few teams in this league. Thank you so much. Good night, Dada. Thank you, Kishore. Good night to you as well. Modern Sporting is this. That's why 6 derby. Acha, okay, because you only mentioned 2 clubs, right? So therefore, Prasanjit, I said, where do you have 6 derbies? Tushar, is India really better than Afghanistan in terms of player quality? I heard their players play in Europe, third, fourth. It's still not acceptable that we could not get more from 2 games. Tushar, it's a difficult one to answer in the sense of saying, that your players are better or my players are better. But overall, I would say this ragtag Afghanistan team, where you have players from the first up to the 7th division, you had 4 players who don't even have a club. From that perspective, I would say our team should be better than theirs. Yes. And we have been better than them in earlier occasions. We've drawn Afghanistan in the past under Steamach as well. So therefore, for me, I would have expected 4 points. We got 1. That's the problem. If we got 4 points, we're through. That's the real problem. And Afghanistan deserved to beat us. For me, I still get angry about it because it's a disappointment. Ishan, thanks for boosting our knowledge with your experience and knowledge every day. It means a lot. So thank you, Ishan. Thank you. It means a lot to me that you're saying this. I try to help as much as I can, at least. And when I talk about football, that we are kind of trying to, bring across what I know. Again, and I say, if I don't know something, I will tell you I don't know something, or I might be sure about something. So therefore, it's something, that we need to do. We need to try and inform and grow. Hello, sir. Shahad, welcome back. Arnavo, do you think quality of football over the world is reduced? Players are not allowed to express themselves. It's all about tactics, playing to the letter of system of coach. Neil, yes and no. I think football to some extent has become so physical that we're not looking at the quality of players. That's why we're surprised when, you've got a Lamine Yamal, you've got Jamal Musiala, Flo Wirtz, those kind of players who are tricky, who are nippy, who you have to give the freedom to play. That's why we like those. That's something. Most fans expect players from Saudi, but they come from A-League. I don't think they expect players from Saudi, Sanskar. They expect quality players, and they're going to get it. So for me, and A-League players are better than ours, far better than us. When you say basics are not good, is scouting is poor, same salary scouting also lacks somewhere. See, scouting is something which you need expertise and knowledge, and that is something, again, as I say, with coaching, is a big problem in India. Gokuram Kerala Stadium dispute, do you know anything about it? Abhishek, I've read about it, and I hope it is sorted, that the EMS Stadium in Kozhikode is going to be the future home, continue to be the future home of Gokuram Kerala, because they have done some good work, not only in men's, but especially in the women's game. Dipan, it all comes down to the team. If your national team does good, start producing results and stuff, opponent, there's so much result until look at that 20 World Cup. Who really cares about that in the world? Yeah, true, very true. Prasanjit, one thing you said in the podcast that we need to rebuild the football culture. I believe even if under 17 qualify and merit, it will definitely happen, but we need that breakthrough. See, there are 2 things. To say India does not have a football culture at all would be wrong. I think there are places in India where you have a football culture. The question is, how can you build it to the next level? That's our challenge. And to me, that's something that we need to build and need to build on in a big way. So therefore, if we can get to an under 17 World Cup on merit, it will surely bring in new people who are interested in football. Prasad, do you think PAO can be a quick fix for Indian national team? Yes, 100%. We've got OCI players around the world who are much, much better than the current crop of players who are playing for India. That's the reality. That's not even a point of discussion. So, what was the context of your tweet today regarding personal fights in Indian football? Ishan, look at people speaking about themselves and, I've been harmed and I want to do this for Indian football, but I wasn't allowed and this, that. Yeah, that was it. Sanskar, will in future Kerala League will replace ISL? No way. How can that be? The Kerala Super League or Super League Kerala, as they've now termed it, is a state league, so it cannot replace the ISL. Sports are not collaborating in politics in India, but when compared to world, they good collaboration. Abhishek, is handling women's team as more loss or men's in Gokulam Kerala in terms of money? The men's team, much more, much more. Mano, Marcel Besson said that football is becoming less and less attractive versus what made it is the best game in the world is not there anymore. Your opinion on that? Monok, I retweeted that interview clip on my Twitter, and to me he's spot on. I felt that when I watched Euro matches. I was not excited. I was more in Düsseldorf last week, Monday. I was looking around and more interested sometimes in what the Belgians and the French fans were doing than watching what was happening in front of me. I mean, I had Mbappe 45 minutes running in front of me where I thought, maybe the fitter me could have been faster than that. That's why. Playmaker Bhai Live Cup aega. Sanskar, let me see that I get the others back on the channel to discuss. Yes. Tushar, the small player pool is not helping with players underperforming in national team. The only thing we can do is get a coach that can make these players give more. 100%. Mr. Ego Steamer is still speaking. Wow, really, we need this much confidence in every aspect of life. Define. Very well said. It's a sad reality, but very well said from your side. Yeah, I agree. That's something. Ishan, do you agree with Ronaldinho's observation related to Brazilian football team? Yeah, I mean, Ronaldinho, who I've had the pleasure to meet, crazy guy, but in a positive way. Sorry. Ronaldinho saying, crazy guy, great guy, had the pleasure of meeting him, has a point that, that this Brazilian team is, and yeah, they need to do better. Brazil is in somewhat of the same cycle as well. What happened? Coro level Spanish strike and was deal happen or deal on a. They did not targeted Spanish strikers, no? Sanskar. When we play superior opponent, are we beaten in technical, physical tempo of the game? Morally, we are beaten on all fronts. On all fronts, we're beaten. Ishan, do you think Qatar World Cup was a well-organized tournament from a logistic element point of view, especially since it was the first time ever? Ishan, I wasn't there, so therefore I cannot judge it. Friends have told me it was somewhat well-organized, but again, it had also had its problems that, stadiums were too far away from the metro stations or cabs were not willing coming around, those kind of things. But again, I wasn't there, so therefore I should not judge it. But again, the only thing I can say most probably from an atmosphere standpoint, with the Euros being in Germany, it is somewhat of a different tournament than any other tournament. But there were rumors that Mohamed was Spanish striker. But Sanskar, they've already got 2 Aussies and they're looking to sign a 3rd Aussie. Again, if you believe all the rumors, that's the problem, right? You want to believe the rumors. People put out a lot of things. The way Brazilian national team perform, do you think they deserve the FIFA ranking they're currently holding? No, they don't. FIFA rankings, I've said that, are a joke. If people thought a decade back Georgia was as good or as bad as India, then that this FIFA ranking is a joke. We manipulated it to be in the pot 2 of the Asian qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup, right? So that's the thing what we've done. Do you think Neymar would have stayed for long international football? Morally, he's been injury prone And that's a problem, and therefore he's not played. Let's hope he comes back stronger. Abhishek, in the podcast, he's still saying the points like he have helped the team to get a goalkeeper coach that wasn't contracted if he had come to ISL. That's true. Who cares? Abhishek, who cares? There was an Indian national team before him. There's an Indian national team after him. You have failed. Accept the point that you have failed. You have not taken Indian football forward in your 5-year tenure. That is the summary, period. Everything else is blah, blah, whatever people say. He should have never been there for 5 years. Sorry, Igor. 2 years, tata bye-bye. Should have gone in 2021. But hey, Tushar Fabris is speaking about how players do not understand how the game is going on. It's more about do what instructions were given in every situation. I think there are players who need that instruction even at the top level. They need the guidance of the coach of where to position him, how to position him, what to do. And there are players, I think you would never have to tell a Xavi or Iniesta what to do. Why bros need 3 foreign strikers? Is it unbalanced team? Sanskar, ask them. That is the thing. It's for them to decide, their management to decide. I would build a team differently, but that's their decision. They want to do it. Personnel will come and go. Team will always remain. Suhas, very well said. And it doesn't matter if it's club or country. A team will always be there. A club will always be there. Players and coaches will come and go. But a national team or a club side will always remain. That's something, Ishan, do you think Mumbai City FC have missed a trick by letting Amai continue in Odisha FC on loan? To me, I don't know why he was allowed or not brought back. There are reasons to it which we most probably public will never know. Neil, the only hope of players like Yamal, Musiala, Nico Williams, hope these players are allowed to play, expensing themselves. I was grown up to Ronaldinho, Ronaldo phenomenal, Raul, or Zidane, or etc. Yeah, if you name those players, exceptional. That was, I would have said 20 years ago, would have been, 18 years ago, the FIFA World Cup. Wow, what quality. And yeah, I mean, Musiala is given that freedom in a German team. Yamal and Nico Williams are given that freedom in a Spanish team. So hopefully in the club sides as well, they're giving that freedom. This is a golden opportunity for Indian football to qualify for third round of football. Team consists of Afghanistan still losing and drawing unacceptable. Yeah, but those are realities, right? Ego performance with national partner brought tears to the eyes. Mainak, I don't know. Rohit, is FSL trying to mimic the ISL league after any other football league set up in another country? What is their blueprint based on? Are they making a plan up as they're going along? See, the ISL, when it started 10 years ago, and again, I was part of it because I was involved initially in the planning phase of the ISL and then with Mumbai City FC, was a combination of the IPL and of the Premier League. So to me, that's what it is based on, and that's what it's running on. In Juan coaching, they play with all Indian players in attack, and Amolina coaching, they're playing with full foreign striker. Why most of the manager always take stupid decision and fall? Why were they playing with a full Indian attacking line? Cummings, Petratos, and Sadiko, 2 of them were always playing. Right? So I don't see that. Sorry, just needed to answer something from work. Do you think football level fell down compared to Ronaldo? I feel yes. If you ask me, I would have said the standard of football was better 15, 20 years ago. For me, it's become too physical. It's your physical fitness decides how good or how bad you are. Technical abilities. That's why, the players mentioned by Neil, when we talk about Ronaldinho, we talk about the Ronaldo phenomenal. Wow, Raul, Zidane, Henri, class. So, I hope, I think Ronaldo Messi was the more skillful player. Ronaldo was the more hardworking player. That's why I always say I would rather see a Messi than a Ronaldo. Right? Even in a Portugal team, I would rather see a Bernardo Silva than the others in that team. So I might be right, I might be wrong, I don't know, but that's what my feeling is, and I have not been impressed by a lot of teams. That's why, I love the passion of Georgia. I love the passion of Turkey. And Turkey has quality players, Şananoglu, Arda Güler could be a great player in the future. Look at, so therefore, yeah, that's something. Travel agent issue for, yeah, it has been, it was, it is, and it will be. Try and get 35, 40 tickets at short notice sometimes. That's a problem that will be there in a nation context. It's not so easy. It's not like, your other federations who have chartered flights capabilities of doing that. AFF doesn't. That's a reality. And therefore, these things will remain tough. So, yeah, that's where we stand. That's where we sadly stand, but that's where we are in today's world, right? That's where we are in today's world in regard to Indian football. I hope, therefore, yeah, let's hope things get better and the challenges get less. But yeah, I'm not talking about Jason Sadiku Dimi. I'm talking about Jamie Y. When you have replaced Kauku, you're placing midfield striker. What's stupid? Sanskar, don't ask me. As I told you, I would take another decision. I wouldn't even sign 3 strikers. I would sign 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, 2 defenders, or, something else. But that is a question I cannot answer you. Today's football has so much of technology and fitness, better player development still can replace it. Well, that's a problem now. Technology and fitness, and sometimes we've got too much technology and fitness where you don't allow the players to express themselves. I'm talking about the top level. Monak, I don't understand one thing. Molina hasn't arrived yet and he hasn't seen his full team matches. So how could he decide which formation he's going to play with and how many foreign centre backs to play? Monak, I don't really know. Again, I'm with you on that. Because I don't know what the formation he will pick. Who will play? And the foreigners are not fixed. There are still foreign slots available, right? So let's wait and see what happens. At times, Pep and system over everything else, managers have ruined football in a way. Yes and no. Because Pep then expects you to be extraordinarily special, right? And he's had talented players, skillful players always in his squad. We can't compete with cricket. Cricket is system ready for X, Ranji Trophy, Irani, etc. IPL came and picked finish for us, needs to develop players. To some extent, yes, but I think the IPL has also changed the way you develop players. So that's the thing. If they're milking ISL off IPL, then they will never make money until football becomes a super popular sport in India, similar to cricket. Rohit, I don't think that is the thing. Again, it has become less of mimicking IPL rather mimicking EPL. But the point is that more people need to watch the sport, and that's a general problem in Indian football. So let's wait and see what happens. How do you rate Chennai in a season and past season disappointed? They got into the playoffs. With that team, I would say success. I think Owen Coyle got the max out of that team. Era, golden era. Yeah, that's very, very true. Right. We are a few minutes before 8 o'clock. I think CSC can beat Mumbai this season. This CSC looks like big teams, just like Mumbai City, Mumbai. Let's wait and see. Sanskar, it's too early, as I said. Let's let them all put their squads together, and then before the ISL starts, let's have that conversation. And it's just a little before 8 p.m. German time, 9 o'clock the game starts. So, guys, I am off now. Tomorrow I won't be there, so tomorrow there won't be a live. Tomorrow I'll most probably do a little story on the channel regarding national coach. What are expectations? Thanks, Neil. Try to answer all your questions. And we'll most probably do something on the Mohun Bagan defender signings. So keep watching, keep subscribing to Arun Foot, liking stuff. Again, I did a preview on today's semifinals. If you haven't watched it, do watch it. And as I said, subscribe to Arun Foot, like this video, share this video, watch the other content that I'm producing to help me grow. And I'll be back in the coming days. Thanks. Good night, everyone.